What's up guys, this week's video is going to be a little different. It's a video I've been wanting to make for a long time, I just never really got around to it. So a question I've been asked in the past is if I were to work for Lucasfilm and had the opportunity to tell any sort of Star Wars project I wanted, what would it be? In other words, if Kathleen Kennedy gave me the keys to the Star Wars kingdom and said, hey, here's $300 million, have fun. What part of the Star Wars universe would I explore and how would I contribute to the canon? First off, I'd request a meeting or at least a phone call with the man himself, George Lucas. I'd talk to him about my idea and refine it based on his input. But let's pretend for a few seconds that he's approved all my ideas and gave me his stamp of approval. Great, well, here's the Star Wars story I'd want to tell. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, the galaxy is in a state of equilibrium. 1,000 years has passed since Luke Skywalker destroyed the first Death Star. In that time, there's been numerous threats to the galaxy, to the Republic, to the Jedi, and to balance itself. Factions have come and gone, the Sith are defeated and virtually extinct, the unknown regions is now referred to as the outermost regions, and the Jedi Order in the wake of a balanced universe has disbanded. There now remains wandering Jedi who simply serve the will of the Force. Then there comes an individual strong in the Force named Baron Kuroda, who arrives on the world of Ossus and dressed in very old robes. He claims he hails from the days of the Old Republic, and in a great effort to warn the Jedi of a coming evil known as the Rakata Empire, the skilled Force user was caught in the orbit of a terrible planet known simply as the Spider's Web. Although it seems to him he was in the planet's atmosphere for a couple hours, by the time he reached Ossus, nearly 10,000 years had passed. He's truly a man lost in time. However, he brings with him his knowledge of past histories and ancient Force abilities, and he immediately drew the attention of many Jedi who dedicated themselves to his discipleship. But what they soon discovered was that Baron had delved into the dark side to escape the Spider's Web, and now having tasted the powers of the darkness, he couldn't restrain himself from the power and authority at his fingertips. The dark side had risen from the past. Challenging Kuroda is a wandering Twi'lek Ronin named Judah Kimono, whose training is incomplete. In order to be a worthy opponent to Kuroda, Judah must seek out masters of the Force for guidance and training. All the while, he's assisted by his friends who take him to all the strange corners of the galaxy. Amongst these friends is Rain Jexter, Jorah Southstone, a small astromech named Waddle, and Arden Satella. I would explore a galaxy that has become vibrant and simple. It's a completely new era which would invite new technologies, factions, aliens, and creatures, all while having a few reflections of past history, including a Mandalorian named Lucius Pike. A faction of warriors Judah Kimono would ultimately encounter is a group called the Zelu. They're Force extremists who wield swords made entirely of kyber crystals. As for lightsaber combat, it would lean very heavily on accuracy and precision, as opposed to flair and acrobatics. Duels like Kenobi vs. Maul in Star Wars Rebels, or classic samurai duels, in which the sword combat is more like a game of mind chess. We'd quickly learn the effectiveness of Baron Kuroda's fighting style, and the way he quickly cuts down his more modern opponents. Judah's entire character arc would behave similarly, in which his youthful aspirations of being a Jedi Master would ultimately humble him and show him the wisdom and efficiency and humility. I think the title of the film would be something like Star Wars: Spectre of the Past, or something to that effect. Anyways, if you want me to further flesh out the story, let me know in the comments. I love the idea of a Star Wars story that doesn't just go back to the roots of where Star Wars came from, but also approaches it from a sort of meta mindset, in which the past is where the conflict is to begin with. I also love the idea of an alien being the titular character as opposed to it always being a human. Make sure you hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week with another video.